What should you include in your parenting time plan to avoid conflict? My name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan, and today we're going to continue our video series. It's designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. Well, if you're thinking of negotiating something with your soon-to-be ex, what should you put in the parenting time plan that'll avoid problems? Well, I would say this. First and foremost, you want to create a situation where the discussion and the dialogue about the parenting time plan doesn't lend itself to an escalation and a huge fight. Therefore, when you're thinking about what that plan should look like, think about the old concept of what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you're going to recommend out of the 30 overnights that you have 26 and the other side has 4, ask yourself, would you regard that as acceptable to you? If the answer is no, don't suggest it to the other side. Try to work out something that's fair and try to work out something that makes sense based on the hours that people work. You know, it's very interesting. We represent a lot of healthcare professionals. They work the craziest hours. Even sometimes nurses that have a hospital rotation work 36 hours in a row and then they're off for 2 days. I mean, it's just unusual schedules. It's not your standard 9 to 5 kind of thing. A lot of times you have people who work in factories, they work a night shift. They go from 3 to 11, some bizarre kind of thing. And the other spouse is working, from 6 a.m., gets off at 2. So you've got to really look at it in terms of what's a reasonable schedule given the availability of the parties to exercise that schedule. So you want to put something in the schedule to avoid conflict. Number one, do not impose a time schedule that works for you that can't possibly work for the other side. Number two, remember, if you're going to go to somebody and say, I think you should have these amount of overnights and that's good enough, then you have to be prepared to say, if it's good enough, then you take those overnights. You might also consider the fact that you want to avoid conflict. Don't take all the good times and leave the other person with all the problems. If you want to take the entire academic year and all the holidays that go in between the academic year, like Christmas, New Year's, those kind of things, all the days off, spring break, you want the kids to be with you. Yeah, expect to lose the whole summer. Do you want to lose the whole summer? Would it make more sense to split some of these times or alternate them so that it's fair to everybody? That's the concept. The concept is you got to look at yourself and say, what do I think would be acceptable if I were on the receiving end? And once you're approaching it from that standpoint, the likelihood that you'll come up with something more globally reasonable is that much greater. If you have any questions about that, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.